In this episode, we're continuing eastward through the Balearic Islands. After being at anchor for a while in Ibiza, we're headed for Mallorca to a marina in Palma. After that, we'll head to Calidor and haul the boat out for some maintenance.
Just leaving Ibiza. Goodbye Ibiza. Very pretty. We're coming into Palma, Mallorca now. There's Palma, Mallorca. We're just approaching the breakwater and the marina, and also the ferry port is behind that breakwater there. You can see the bunch of masts. It's the Palma Cathedral. Really beautiful. This is a great vantage point as well. This is the marina, Port de Mallorca.
We both really liked this marina. It was very convenient, close to the city center, clean and modern. The approach was easy and the docking was relatively easy with roomy channels.
Really geared up for scooters.
And bikes.
Doing?
Fixing the anchor. There's your rope back.
The anchor was twiddling the wrong way, and so what we've figured out, because it's got a nice swivel on it, is that the rock nut anchor will orient itself the correct way if you're going backwards in the water slowly when you pull up the anchor. So that's a little bit opposite of what you want to do, but we'll have to do that anyway, because we just spent the night with the anchor pointing the wrong way.
We don't have air conditioning on our boat, and so far it's been very comfortable on the boat. Haven't missed the air conditioning at all. But since it's been so hot and humid in Mallorca, we'd like to make it a little more comfortable sleeping at night by adding a higher power, larger fan in the bedroom to the existing fans. It's a pretty simple project, but the only one we can muster in this sort of heat. Palma is a beautiful city with ancient landmarks like Belver Castle, which was the first circular castle in Europe, and of course the massive Santa Maria Cathedral, which overlooks the Bay of Palma. Palma is a pretty large city at 400,000, the largest in all the Balearic Islands, and so there are lots of modern sites as well, like the aquarium.
What's the drinking, Dawn?
You got a drink that matches my dress.
Blue, chug it, it's in your neck, Lassie. Come on, come. Come on. Have a good girl. That's what we used to get the girls drunk on in university. Blue Balls, I think it's called. Where are we, Dawn?
Old Town Palma.
Old Town Palma. Platanus. And a panda. An overgrown panda. It was a bit too friendly. You gotta watch that panda. He looks pretty dodgy to me. He's trying to pickpocket people. Look at the way he's shaking. That's not your ordinary panda. All you've had is one drink. What was that called?
I had the porn star.
You had a porn star? No, I'm saying, what did you have to drink?
The porn star.
No, but what did you drink, Dawn?
We're having to find places to park our scooters everywhere we go. I spilled already.
Wipe your face. Oh dear. She's throwing it everywhere. Food fight. Well, it's on your face. Get it off your face. Yeah.
No.
It's all over your face.
One of the nice things about sailing into Palma is you get this unobstructed view of the Santa Maria Cathedral, and visiting the site on land was even more impressive. They began working on this landmark in the 13th century, and the cathedral that you see standing today was built on top of a mosque, which was built on top of a Christian church. And you see that some of the historical features remained. For example, if you're kneeling at the altar, you're actually facing Mecca, not Jerusalem. Construction of the present-day cathedral was finished in 1601, but there was some restoration done in the early 1900s by the famous architect Gaudi from Barcelona. You can see his work in the iron canopy over the main altar. One of the things that makes the cathedral so impressive is its size. The nave is 44 meters tall, and it boasts the largest Gothic rosette in the world. It's almost 14 meters in diameter and consists of over 1,200 pieces of glass, and it even functions as a sundial. If you do visit, I absolutely recommend visiting St. Peter's Chapel in the right apse to see the modern art installation by Miquel Barcelo from 2006. His installation represents the story of Jesus multiplying loaves and fish for his followers, and to me it has a strong maritime feel. It really stands out in the cathedral as unique and extraordinary.
We rented a car, and I haven't driven in a very long time.
We're setting off to drive around Palma. We're just leaving the marina area, or the marinas plural.
We decided to get off the boat for a day, rent a car, and drive the island. And we stuck to the west side of the island because we were going to be sailing to the east side after Palma. Not only is Palma the capital of Mallorca, but it's also the capital of the autonomous community of the Balearic Islands. Palma's the largest city in the Balearic Islands at about 400k, and the entire island of Mallorca has about 876,000 people. That's about 1/3 of the Balearic Islands population. The official language in Mallorca is the Mallorcan variant of Catalan, and Castilian Spanish is the second official language. Mallorca is a popular place for foreigners to come and live, and about 21% of the permanent population are foreigners, with the majority being from Germany. Tourism makes up the majority of the economy at about 80%. There's also agriculture. They produce almonds, oranges, lemons, and olives. And they also have some other natural resources like copper mines, lead, and marble. For the multitude of tourists, not only are there historical landmarks to see, but there's also multiple natural sites to visit. They have caves, a beautiful coastline all the way around the island, and several beaches. One of the more amazing natural sights to see is the Serra de Tramuntana mountain range. In 2011, this mountain range was awarded World Heritage status. It's in the northwest of the island. It has, up at its highest point at about 4,800 feet, there are beautiful lakes and valleys, and on the drive up there are several quaint towns and villages to visit.
There's Palma, Mallorca. Goodbye, Palma. We are now going to Calidor. We just left Palma, Mallorca, and we're going to come around here to Calidor of gold, I guess. We're going to get our bottom painted. Dawn says I need to get my bottom painted, and we are going to get some little engine service done while we're there. Impeller changed, which I don't fancy doing myself because my hands are too big. Nice wind, Chloe's happy. So chugging along, 14 knots of wind, full main up. So I'm on the no Jenica today because we're kind of into the wind. And we are chugging along. Dawn's having her breakfast.
Muesli.
What?
Muesli.
She's doing a muesli. And we are chooching along. Chooch, chooch.
We're
marking our halyards again since we have the sail up, and the nail polish didn't work. It comes off in the UV pretty fast, so we're marking with permanent marker, given that the black permanent marker worked pretty well.
2 bands, reef 2. 3 bands, reef 3. 1 band, reef 1. 0 bands, full main. So we're starting to round the Cape now, and the true wind is jumping from 9 knots up to 15 knots over the course of tens of seconds. And so we're bouncing around, not really able to settle into a smooth course. So we'll just have to sheet in really hard and see what we can do into the wind. So here's a kind of a classic point of sail. 48 degrees, 16 knots of wind, 6.6 knots of speed. There's no current here, so the difference between boat speed and speed over ground is just a screwed up paddle wheel. She's quite level, a little bit of heel, but really not much. 5 degrees rudder on. We've got 1 reef in the main, so she's not perfectly balanced, but close to it, and a full jib out.
Come on, do
What
it.
are you
were
talking
just
about?
doing.
What are you talking about, Dawn?
Oh, we're camera shy.
We decided once we reached Calidor that it was time to haul the boat out. We didn't have any experience with this location, but it was time for maintenance, and the boatyard had a 50-ton travel lift, which was plenty for our 16-ton boat. They did a good job hauling out the boat and performing all the maintenance that we requested. However, if you do stay at this marina, be aware that there is no fresh water in the taps on the dock. There's only salty water. We spoke to some locals, and they also mentioned that they don't have fresh water at their home and they must treat their own drinking water. In the summer, the island population grows from 875,000 to 7 million. So given that it's an island with limited resources, it's not surprising that they would have occasional water shortages. While the boat is under maintenance in the yard, we get to spend a few nights on land in the town of Calidor. Calidor's a nice resort town, less crowded than the Palma area. The town adheres to the Bison style of small, cubic, whitewashed villas, apartments, and houses, and they all conform to the same theme.
It's really tickly, and it feels like there's fish eating me. It's a really weird feeling. Do you want some whiskey?
Just as you'd expect from a quaint resort town, Calidor has a beautiful old town with lots of restaurants and places for general entertainment. While we were enjoying ourselves in town, they were hard at work on the boat. Starting with the hull, they cleaned up the barnacles, pressure washed it, and then lightly sanded it to prep it for a double coat of anti-foul painting. They also performed a standard engine service on our Volvo Penta, changing the oil filters, fuel filters, and the impeller.
So here is the state of the anode of the propeller. So the propeller looks in good shape. The anodes are looking as if they are working. So anodes have been doing their job. Poor old anode. Life is an anode. I feel that way sometimes.
There are a total of 4 anodes to be replaced on our boat. The first is a series on the propeller. Anodes are used as a sacrificial metal, used to protect against galvanic corrosion. This occurs when reactive metals immersed in salt water lose their free electrons, resulting in corrosion. The anodes you see here are zinc, and the level of corrosion is after about a year of constant immersion in seawater. If there were no anode, the nickel-bronze-aluminum alloyed propeller would corrode due to its proximity to the less reactive steel shaft to which it's connected. But the presence of the zinc anodes, which is a weaker, more reactive metal that corrodes faster than the other metals, causes a corrosion to occur on the anode rather than the other critical metal components like the propeller. And here are the new anodes installed on the propeller to protect it. There's the collar and the one on the end of the propeller. We also make sure that the propeller is folding smoothly and that the rope cutter is free and clear. The next set of anodes are the ones fixed to the aluminum hull. They're on the keel skeg, and it's a set of 2 block anodes set on opposite sides of the keel skeg. Because the boat is a metal and not a fiberglass or other plastic type of boat, it does need to be protected from galvanic corrosion. The hull material, aluminum, will still corrode even when not in contact with another stronger metal, so that needs to be attended to with the anodes as well. The final anode to be replaced is the lifting keel or centerboard. This critical piece of solid aluminum affords its own protection where it's connected at its hinging point. The hauling out and launching of the boat went without a hitch. The crew was experienced and efficient, and they met all of their promised timelines. And we thought overall they did a great job. We also liked the fact that we were allowed into the boatyard to check in on the progress and to see if there were any issues or questions along the way. We're just excited to get back on the water. Now that the boat hull is cleaned and painted, we should zip along at faster speeds.
Okay, we're leaving Calidor. Okay, that's a good speed. Keep going. Nice, but no water here, no desalination plant in place working. Service people were good, expensive but good. Marina overcharged us. They charged us for 4 nights on the hard instead of 3, and we told them about it and they seemed to think that that was okay.
Overall, we liked this marina. It's very protected with a long channel in of about a mile. Take note though that the channel can get pretty narrow towards the end when the marina is full. So next steps are to continue east, but we have one more destination on Mallorca before hopping over to Mallorca about 30 miles east.